Hello again, and welcome back for another edition of Book Talk, a Monday discussion about literature and books and reading with Steve. And today I am reading Midwinter Blood, which I am only about 40% of the way through. This is another Prince winner, and it's a very mysterious tale. It deals with a mysterious island where people apparently do not age, or they never die, or they're not born. It's not all clear yet, and it's an interesting story because whereas some books take interesting turns with perspective, this novel works non-chronologically or anti-chronologically. The first section of the book was a story that takes place in the year 2073. The second part that I've just finished takes place in 2011, the year the book was published. The next section that I haven't read yet is about the airmen in August 1944. So it's working backwards in time, and it has quite a ways to go before the end. I think it will get quite a long ways back, but the mysterious island has clearly some connecting issues that deal with it, and some characters that reoccur in each of the stories not having aged or having been reborn. That's not all totally clear to me yet, but I'm enjoying it. Not sure that the story as a whole will hold up as well, but kind of like the book I talked about last week, Punkzilla, there's masterful storytelling. So even if the story doesn't hold up as a great story that's going to move my life, the storytelling is very entrancing and I'm really enjoying it. So I'll say more about that next week when hopefully I have gotten through that. Otherwise, I want to talk about some books here. I talked about how YA is not a genre. Fantasy is a genre. The Chronicles from Narnia series, or A Wrinkle in Time, Percy Jackson's or Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, and of course Harry Potter, and I will even include Twilight from Stephanie Meyer, who doesn't have a good reputation with a lot of people these days, but it was a very successful series, and I think that if it hadn't been for the very atrocious, terrible movies, maybe we could be more forgiving of the story as it was originally written, despite, yeah, it has some flaws that people don't like, but many people read those books, still read those books, and love them, so I'm not going to condemn it. But I think it's interesting to talk about fantasy in the YA realm and what it includes, what most essential. And for me, that is two things, a wish and a hope. A wish that we, as young people growing up, had some kind of special power or ability to change or control our fates and the world and circumstances, to rescue ourselves from terrible situations and to rescue the people we love from terrible situations. That's the wish for some secret power, for some superhuman abilities. The hope, though, that I think is much more important in these stories and makes them truly more meaningful and important for us to share with new generations as they come along, is the hope that when we are given or discover any kind of power that we do have, not necessarily supernatural, but the powers that we do gain as we grow older, that we have the responsibility to use those wisely and do well with them. It's not just that we want to be able to do things to get our own way, it's that we want to be able to do things that will make the world better, to fight world suck on a grander scale. And I think that's what makes the heroes and heroines of fantasy so special to us. It's not just that they can do amazing things, it's that they use those amazing things that they can do to good effect and to make the world a better place. And so I would ask you two questions. If you could have the superpower, of course, what would it be? But more importantly, if you could use it to cure one problem, what is it that you worry most that you would do responsibly? And what are the things you worry most that you might not be able to resist the temptation to use it wisely? Okay, so there you have it. That's it from me for this week's book talk. I'm reading Midwinter's Blood by Marcus Sedgwick. We talked about some fantasy. What's your wish and your hope? And if there's anything else you'd like me to discuss about books or literature, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to be awesome, and I will talk to you again soon, hopefully.